Welcome back to the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on BSRTV. This is round 8 from Suzuka, the second of 3 races this evening, and round 7 was a belter. In the commentary box, Chris Cohen, joined by Adam Barth. What do you make of that first race, Adam?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm looking forward to the second race with this top 10 reverse grid.
Well, we saw a great finish for Lopez under slightly controversial circumstances. He appeared to make contact with Ash Sutton's car and sent Sutton back down the field. It was only very light contact, but in a very high-speed corner, Sutton survived and got back to 5th place. Lopez went on to win that, but Stelian Shepelevsky, who came second in that race, Adam, finished with no incidents at all.
Yeah, that's quite surprising for a touring car race, but second place, no incidents, good drive from him.
Yeah, and he's really showing that championship potential that he's been looking for such a long time. He came second to Andreas Katz in Season 3, and it was a pretty close run affair. We're just going to get into the session now, bring you some pictures as soon as possible, but we'll run down the standings when we do that. But Jamie Rushworth came third in that race with Hoog fourth, and you can't really rule a Rushworth out at this stage, can you? Because he's incredibly quick, really consistent, and he's won it already. Doesn't seem to slow him down though. He still wants to go out there and win.
Yeah, he's a champion, and he wants to win more and more races, to win more championships.
Well, we caught up with Jamie a little bit earlier in the season, and here's what he had to say.
Hi, my name is Jamie Rushworth. I'm 19. I'm from Shrewsbury in the UK. I take part in the iRacing British Touring Car Championship and hoping for next season to take part in the GT3 League. I first tried iRacing back in 2008 but couldn't afford it back then. I rejoined about a year and a half ago. Been racing in multiple leagues since then. My first proper sim racing game on the PC was Race 07. Took part in a few little leagues there, and it was mostly casual. iRacing was the next one after that, and I've been here since. I like iRacing in particular because it's got a lot of attention to detail, so things like dirt build-up on the car and on the window. And I just like how the cars feel, and they're very professional official series that are run with a safety rating. It helps keep things clean. I use a Logitech G27, completely standard, bolted to a desk with an office chair with wheels. My favourite car is the McLaren because that was the first one I raced sort of competitively in. I enjoy the Kia, but I'm looking forward to the Honda Civic whenever that comes out. I'd say I'm a race winner. I'm not the fastest on the grid, but I often come across the line, more often than not, and I think that's what gets me the wins. Well, it has to be the final round where I crossed the line and took the championship, to be honest. Both Movigo and myself taking it as newcomers to the league. My worst event would have been round 2 at Mosport, where I disconnected just before gridding and I had to fight my way back up. So, is that how you pronounce that, by the way? Mosport. Never pleasant to have your race finish before it starts. Mosport. I do consider myself a clean driver, yes. Tend to brake more than I need to if I'm behind a car. If I see someone starting to come across my inside, I'll give it up, or if someone's coming from behind, I'll move out the way if they're coming up fast. Well, my goal is to win the championship, and This season I managed it. Next season it's going to be very interesting. Some very, very fast drivers.
And we are not long to go until the grid, about 2 minutes, Adam. So why don't you run down the top 10, which will be reversed from the finishing results of the last race.
Okay, so the winner of race 1, Jacobo Lopez, he'll be starting 10th in this race. Alongside him is second place, Stelian Shepelevsky. He came second place. Third place, Jamie Rushworth. And in fourth, Stefan Hug. Fifth, Ashley Sutton. Sixth, Sebastian Job. Seventh, Wojciech Savidovic. Eighth, David Baker. Ninth, Adam Terry. And in 10th place on pole position is the Pertec car of Kevin Critchley. Let's see if he can win race 2.
Well, that should be very interesting. Another Pertec car on pole position. Here's what the standings look like after 6 rounds. This hasn't been updated from the last race because we're not that quick. We couldn't do that in 3 minutes, surprisingly enough. But Savidovic led coming into this. 7th place in the last race will score him lots of points. Hug, second. Outscored Savidovic though. Shepelevsky third, also outscored both of those drivers. Rushworth fourth. And all four of those drivers at the top there finishing in the top 7 last time out. Baker, we heard he had a great battle with Adam Terry. Then Lopez, so hopefully Lopez will be moving up because he won the last race, and that is going to make the championship even more interesting. Poor old Andy Katz, unable to score very well in that last race. I sense a steward's inquiry might be necessary after the proceedings this evening. Terry, Sutton 9th, and then Field rounds out the top 10. So not long to go now, and how long can Critchley realistically hold on to this, Adam?
Well, in race 2, Jake Tucker, his teammate in the Pertec car, managed to stay up there for the whole of the race and then ended up nearly winning it. So hopefully he manages to do the same during this race.
Well, let's see if that is going to be the case, because it's a long old run down to turn 1, and that is quite a tight turn. Well, it doesn't start tight, but it gets a lot tighter. That's tricky right-hander.
Yeah, a whole load of touring cars going into that first corner.
Well, it's going to be fantastic for us to watch at home, I'm sure. And we saw 3 or 4 wide going into the first corner last time round. Everybody survived though, Adam, which really surprised me, but credit to them. They took it nice and easy, and that's the way to get a race started.
Yeah, as it says in the iRacing drivers briefing, the race isn't won in the first corner. So let's see if they can get through the race 2 first corner cleanly as well.
You're absolutely right about that. Now, where is... oh, there he is, Kevin Critchley. In my list of drivers, he takes up position right at the very front alongside Adam Terry. So Critchley on the right in the Pertec with the green mirrors, and Adam Terry on the left hand side. Just look at all those cars all the way back, and I tell you what, after trying to organise something similar, you would not get them all that straight on the grid unless iRacing put them there, trust me. So the grid forming up at Suzuka for round 8 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We've got some lights. We're going to have 10 more laps from this famous Japanese Formula 1 circuit. No Formula 1 cars here though, as we got the green light. These are 2-litre turbo Kia Optimas, and already some drivers... Oh, there's some contact in the back. One of the cars hasn't gone. That's one of the Bianco cars. Has failed to start. Not sure who that is. Maybe Adam can find out when he gets a moment. Critchley down into turn 1 takes the lead. Second place has been maintained by Terry. A little bit further back there. Let's make sure everybody manages to get through that notoriously tight right-hander on the first lap. Everyone's through there so far. Yes. Oh, maybe one car off in the background, but never mind about that. That's Aaron Gearing, I think, who's gone off quite early on. So Savidovic is in third. That's pretty much, he's moved up 1 place. Sutton, though, in 5th. Jacobo Lopez. Now he's the one to watch, isn't he, Adam?
Yeah, he's the one that won race 1. I'm just having a look at the replay at the start. I couldn't see who it was that seemed to stall at the beginning of the race, but apart from that, it looks like everyone managed to get through the first few corners cleanly.
Is that a slowdown for Ash Sutton? I think that's a slowdown for Ash Sutton. Sorry to cut across you there, but he's losing places. Oh, and there's contact between the Pertex as well. Let's go back and have another look at that one on the replay if we can. This is Jake Tucker, the front of the two Pertex. I think that was Tim Mawson behind him. And there's Sutton, having had that slowdown, and, well... the two Pertex just coming together there, need to give each other a little bit more room and remember that they are teammates. And that's concertinaed the field up nicely. But not much to choose between these guys. Adam Terry and David Baker having a good old fight there in the background. Oh, Terry's gone very wide on the exit to 130R. That's going to cost him, on the entry rather. He just brushes that that lined tyre barrier on the outside. Survives, but he's dropping places now. Koba Lopez on Chepelevsky. Chepelevsky holds on to it. Koba Lopez is going to have to... Oh, and he's coming very slow out of that corner. Has he got to slow down as well? He must have a slowdown.
Yeah, just looking at the times, Critchley has a 7/10 of a second lead as we come on to complete the first lap. David Baker in third, Sebastian Joe fourth, Hoog fifth, Rushworth sixth, Chepelevsky seventh, Terry eighth, Layla ninth, and then Bostrom in 10th.
Well, all four wheels were off the track for Lopez on the entry to the chicane. That might be the source of his slowdown, was it?
Yeah, looks like it.
So, after an almost incident-free race first time out, Lopez now finds himself with a lot of work to do. He is down in 26th place. He's behind Ben Gregory and behind Robert Burton as well. Kevin Critchley holds on to this lead, but look who's coming. Wojtek Savidovic. Not far behind now, and Savidovic should have the pace based on the qualifying. Although Critchley won't give this one up easily, Adam.
No, Critchley got that 10th place in race 1, got that pole position, and he'll be wanting to convert that into a win.
Just look at these cars behind as well. Let's go back to the lead battle just for a moment. Savidovic is coming up quite quickly on the back of Critchley, actually. He's closed that half-second gap right up. We might be seeing a move.
I wonder if Critchley isn't that focused on the win and maybe the points, but let's see if he gets super defensive in the future.
Well, they're almost side by side already, and Savidovic has got the inside line. If he can stop Critchley moving across to take the defensive line here, he'll... No, he can't, so Critchley will be able to go defensive, but it's not really a corner that you want to do that in. Probably the fastest corner on the circuit. A little bit of curve from Savidovic as they come through there for only the second time in this race. Hard on the brakes now into the chicane, right then left. That's where we saw Lopez get the slowdown last lap. And that dropped Lopez at least 16 places. So a huge penalty at that stage of the race. And no change for position there, but Ben Gregory is side by side with Laura Bond. Oh, the contact! Laura Bond sideways. Well, she's still spinning. The Bianco driver will get that one back on the track. No major impact. But just as we cut to those guys, we saw a collision. So let's go back, have another look at that one. There's a car, is that Steve Richardson off quite wide there, and well, I don't know about that. What on earth were these two thinking? They're side by side there. Have another look on the replay. Ah, so Bond forced very wide. Bond is moving to the right here, but Gregory's also moving to the left. And it's Gregory that manages to survive. Bond seems to get punished for that one, but I don't know what you made of that. Oh, and she's had to pull the car off as well, which is a shame. Yeah, Adam's lost for words.
Shameful.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Shame for Laura Bond. She was in the midfield, but now she's dropped and now she's in the pits, I think.
Well, this man is up to 12th place with starting 18th on the grid after some contact with Smolensky, which looked to be instigated by Smolensky last time. Almost a change for the lead there as Savidovic looked down the inside but couldn't get it done. So these guys are closing up as well. David Baker in 3rd place, Joe behind him, and then Hoog behind him. And then, well, just, I mean, they're all on the screen right now. That's Chepelevsky there. just coming through the picture now, and well, there's Layla and Brustrom, Smolensky again, and Katz and Tucker. There's hardly anything to choose between this front pack, and because they're closing up, this is going to make the battling even more interesting.
Yeah, at the end of the last lap, the gap was 0.3 of a second between Critchley and Savidovic. It's going to be a lot closer, and it looks like a problem for Critchley. I think he's slowing down.
That's another slowdown penalty, was it? I think, for Kevin Critchley, and we just cut away at the wrong time there. We'll have another look at that one on the replay. Straight away. Now watch Critchley's line through here. Yeah, well off. He took way too much curb there, and all four wheels off the track only means one thing. He did the right thing. He gets out of the way on the outside, doesn't try and block the track, which is crucially important. But that has dropped him down to 8th position now, and he finds himself behind Adam Terry. So Savidovic leads this race, and he's already a race winner this season. Well, Critchley has some work to do. That's Russell Laidler just behind Team CQR, and after Sutton's slowdown earlier, which has put him in 21st place, Laidler is the top ranked CQR driver on the field.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get the points. Looking at that 20th place pole for race 3 battle, Peter Van Gool, he was on pole position, I believe, in race 3 at Spa. He's there, as well as Adeko Lopez. Lopez will be maintaining his position, hoping for a good spot in that final race.
Well, here comes Sutton. So Sutton's going to be... Oh, there's a very slow Pertec. It's not Pertec's day after that penalty from Critchley. And once again, Sutton down the inside of the hairpin. That's Janowski moving out of the way and giving him plenty of room. Just realising that I think he's considerably faster there, so no real fight. And Peter Van Gool is now going to come under attack. This is the view from the back of his car. He's still got a few tenths before Sutton arrives, and we're just coming up to the halfway point in the race, and in fact the evening's racing as a result. Sutton is not hanging around though. You can see he's visibly faster through those corners. He's going to make the move on Van Gool down the inside. Now this is where the contact with Koba Lopez happened last time. Two drivers need to stay apart, and Sutton's got to slow the car down a lot more than usual to get round this corner, trying to take as much of an angle as possible, but he's going to go... Well, no, I thought he'd go very wide, but he's kept that one under control very well.
Yeah, he's managed to get past Van Gool, and good move as we head into the chicane.
So Sutton now up to 19th place. Van Gool is on the pole position for the last race at the moment. Of course, that means nothing. I mean, we saw Critchley have the pole for this race and then get a slowdown penalty, which meant he had to give it up. Sutton already challenging Zuzov just up in front. Oh, a bit of a heavy challenge as well. Zuzov is bundled off the track out of the way. And I don't know if Zuzov moved over in time there or not. Well, let's have another look from Sutton's cockpit here, coming down the start-finish straight. Zuzov's car just up in front. The natural angle would be come to the right here. Sutton's, well, nowhere near. No, nowhere near. And then as Zuzov turns in, Sutton's way too late on the brakes there, I think. And both drivers survive that. But once again, make of that at home what you will. Sutton up to 18th now, and that's Robert Plumley, his next target, in a rather battered AMD machine. It's been in the walls, that car, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely has throughout this race. We've just been having a look at the replay between Ashley Sutton and the Iwasa car. Bit of contact, however, that's touring car racing, and it's the first corner at Suzuka as well. So, yeah, let's see how he gets on.
Well, Koba Lopez here is in 16th position, and that's Dan Hunt having a good race in 15th, just up in front. I don't think Hunt will be able to hold on for too long, but Lopez has got to make these passes as cleanly as possible, avoid picking up incidents either by car contact or going off the track, because we are low on incidents here. Hunt takes the inside line. No, he's given it up to Lopez. I thought he might have been going extremely defensive at the fastest corner on the track, but decides against that. Lopez up to 15th then, and well, he's well inside the reverse grid Top 20, just how high can he get? Meanwhile, at the front of this race, Savidovic is running away with this one. He is over a second ahead of Baker, and Baker's got his own problems because just behind him, well, there's Job, Hoog, Rushworth, Chapelevsky. Look how close these guys are on the track.
Yeah, at the end of the last lap, Baker was only half a second ahead of Sebastian Job and is getting close as we head through the S's.
Chapelevsky with a few connection problems, I think, but holding on for now in 6th place. Now Jamie Rushworth, 3rd place in the last race. If he stays where he is, he'll be 5th in this race. And it's crucial for all of these top 4 drivers to score well if the other 3 score well, shall we say. So that's Chapelevsky, Hoog, and Rushworth, and Savidovic. A bit of a concertina as the cars almost come together into the hairpin there. Kevin Critchley's holding on to 7th just behind, having got past Adam Terry. Layla's doing well there to hold on to 9th place. He's about a second ahead of Linus Brustrom for Movie Go Racing, who is in 10th place. And Katz is coming. Katz versus Smolensky. Now Smolensky was the man who you could say took out Katz last time round. There's more contact. Katz is across. Katz is huge into the barriers. Smolensky once again makes contact with Katz. Katz is still going. That car surely can't be in very good condition now as he makes contact with Dan Hunt. Well, Smolensky once again seems to have got away with that one with no damage. Wow, let's have another look at that one then. So Smolensky's in front. Katz gets a very good exit here. And you can see Smolensky's car is moving to the left there. Well, Katz appeared to be driving straight. I don't know what you make of that, Adam, but
yeah,
let's watch that one again.
Yeah, it's a bit clumsy by Katz and Smolensky really as we head into
Katz is on the brakes, yeah. Smolensky appears to just move to the left. And well, you could say that's the turning point for the corner. Or you could say he knew where Katz was. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that, but Katz getting all into the barriers there, and another race. Well, I tell you, he won't be receiving a birthday card from Katz this year, will he?
No, definitely won't. I'm looking at it again. Katz does look like he gets into him. He's well. Let's have a look again. He's just going through, and he's in a slipstream. Pulls out, and does he turn right into him? I'm having a look. He goes on the brakes, and they just go together. It's very unfortunate.
Well, another man who's got to get past Smolensky to move up the field is Lopez, and Lopez is right behind him right now. Let's see if Lopez can do a better job than Katz as he looks around the outside of the hairpin. Goes for the cutback to get the better exit. Doesn't work for him this time though. Smolensky's exit was better this time round, so Lopez is going to have to find another way round. I know we've got a few Cobra Lopez fans on the YouTube channel live right now as he looks down the inside, same place as Katz, but he wasn't close enough. So Smolensky still holds on to that 12th place in this race.
Good driving though by Cobra Lopez. He was down towards the bottom end of the teens, however he's now up into 13th position at the moment.
Well, Smolensky's going left and right there. Well, really, I mean, you can only move once. You can only move once. So, well, Smolensky making that car as wide as possible. And it's Kia, it's not a small car, but it's a wide Formula 1 circuit. Lopez is going to be continuing to look for a way round. Katz is not far behind this group either. Lopez pulls out to have a look, but not quick enough just at the moment. I think Lopez is taking it a little bit more carefully than he normally would. Perhaps he's high on incidents or something, Adam.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the incident count at the end, but he is keeping 13th 13th place at the moment as we head into the final few laps.
But you can see the brake lights on that Kia are going on mid-corner, and Lopez having to shed a little bit of speed to stop himself getting into the back of Smolenski, just because Smolensky's driving very defensively here. Lopez will want that 12th place after taking the first victory, but he's got to find a legitimate way around that car in front of him, which he hasn't been able to do so far.
No, and meanwhile his championship rivals, Jamie Rushworth, Chepelewski, Savidovic, they're all in the top 5 in the standings at the moment.
Oh, contact! Lopez is into the back of Smolensky,
oh dear,
under the brakes at the hairpin, and this time Smolensky comes off a lot worse. Lopez is through. Didn't get disqualified, I don't think, so must have had some incidents to spare, but let's go back and have another look at that one on the replay. Once again, I'm saying that a lot this evening.
Smolensky, he is as if they don't respect him. He's been punted around left, right and centre these last 2 races.
Well, this is a view from on board. Now Lopez is going to go down the inside at the hairpin here. The brake lights are on pretty early on Smolensky's. There, the brake lights are on. And, well, Lopez just doesn't have enough time to move over to the inside of the track and make the move complete. So Smolensky, watch for... Well, if Smolensky wants to go to the inside here, he needs to do it. Well, again, it's very strange track positioning from Alexander Smolensky. Either you go to the inside to defend, or you'd be on the outside to take the corner as widely as possible. Surely.
Yeah, it's as if he plants the car right in the centre of the track, and Lopez has nowhere to go. I'm just looking at the timing pages. Stefan Hoog seems to be 0.2 of a second behind David Baker as we head into the final few laps.
That's right, 2 laps to go here. Baker and Hoog, the 2 Chrome Restart teammates, are taking the 2 of the 3 podium positions right now. You can see how close it is behind, and Critchley has got right onto the back of this after his slowdown penalty before. And there's potentially 5 places to make up. Kevin Critchley is on the back of this group. Then it's Job, then Chepelewski, Rushworth, and Hoog and Baker are the 2 at the front. We'll see coming round just now. Chepelewski has a look down the inside of Rushworth. Not quite got the legs on that Kia to get the job done this time. Tyres will be starting to fade a little bit after they've been pushed extremely hard around this Suzuka circuit. Very high speed circuit with a lot of sharp corners as well, like the hairpin and the chicane that we're coming up to later in the lap. Some very high speed corners, both left and right. So tyre wear should be fairly even. Figure of 8 circuit, of course, at Suzuka, which is rare. And Chepelewski still can't find a way around Rushworth. And you know, I don't think these guys are too bothered. I think they're quite happy with their positions, not willing to risk any kind of contact just to get a little bit higher. And Baker holds on to second. Job in the background, side by side with Critchley, makes contact. Well, once again I say those famous words, but let's go back and have another look at that one on the replay. Now from the overhead, here's Job. Gets his braking a little bit wrong. Chepelewski's already turning in, that's the problem. And Job has to jam on the anchors. But look at him coming left across the track, because if he doesn't, he will get that slowdown penalty. And straight in the path of Critchley, and it's probably one of those where he just didn't have time to both avoid the slowdown penalty and the other car. But, I mean, what do you think, Adam? I mean, that... should a driver take a slowdown penalty to avoid contact, or should he expect the other driver to be aware of that?
I think he should take the slowdown penalty, mainly because it's his fault that he goes off the track. But then again,
well, you could say that, or you could say Chepelewski caused Job to go off the track because he turned in early, or you could say that Job should have predicted that Rushworth would cause Chepelewski to... so you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I was having a look at the replay. Chepelewski, I don't know what he's trying to do, because he's not going to be able to go down the inside of Rushworth, and I don't know if he's trying to defend from The Pertec car, so
Well, no positions changed as a result of that, but Laidler is now right on the back of Kevin Critchley. So he's got a good opportunity here, and I don't think we'll see any moves throughout this lap. At the front, at least. Oh, very wide there from Adam Terry. Well, he's kept it under control at least, and won't get him onto the back of Laidler's car. But this man is about to win the second race of the evening, Wojtek Savidovic, and he's going to win it by almost 4.5 seconds as well, barring any mistakes in the final two corners. Baker's second, but he's a very distant second, and all that battling has just given Savidovic the ability to drive away from them. So here he comes around the final corner over the start-finish line. Wojtek Savidovic wins again in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, and the second race of the evening is won by the STP Bianco driver. It's second and third for Chrome Restart in the form of Baker and Hoog, then Rushworth, then Chepalewski, Critchley, Laidler, Terry, Brewstrom, and wow, over the line, Koba Lopez I think has it. Yo, so wow.
Tucker was ahead by 1/10.
Let's see if we can get some confirmation of that. Well, Koba Lopez was starting 20th, don't forget, so that's a good finish for him. Katz managed to get 12th out of that, so pretty good for him as well. And there's a confirmation for you. Savidovic wins. Chrome Restart, though, will score very heavily out of that race with a second and third place, then Rushworth, then Chepalewski, Job 6th, Critchley 7th, who started on pole and did well to hold on to that amongst the challenging field around him. Laidler 8th, Terry 9th, Brewstrom 10th. Tucker got it from Koba Lopez in the end by such a narrow margin. Well, how much? What was the margin?
Just over 1/10 of a second in the end.
And Kaiser coming home 13th with Katz 14th. Sutton, after his earlier slowdown, 15th. Disappointing, but puts him quite high on the grid for the last race. Smolensky 16th. Dan Hunt 17th. Plumley 18th. Zuzov, and then Peter Van Gool rounding out the top 20 there. Let's see if we can have a brief word with one of the Movie Go guys, maybe Jamie this time. Jamie, good result for you in that race. Looked to be fairly comfortable.
Well, yeah, thank you. Not comfortable at all, though. Was trying really hard to get past Stefan, and Stellion was trying very hard to get past me, so not a comfortable place to be.
Well, I have to say, we were looking at the big line of Kia Optimas on our screen, and then we cut to something else, and then a couple of laps later we came back, and all the Kia Optimas were still there in the same line in the same position, so it must have been extremely hard to actually make any progress in that race.
Yeah, there's very few, if any, good passing points on this track. They all require a lot of cooperation from both people.
Well, Critchley started on pole in that last race, but had a slowdown penalty, so that moved you up the order, but that is two very highly scoring races, and that's got to propel you further forward in the championship.
I hope so, but I think Stefan and Stellion have both had equally good races, so looking forward to see regardless.
Well, Koba Lopez almost walked the first race. He was very, very quick in that one, not so good in the second one. If he finds any kind of consistency in this league, do you see him as a threat?
Well, absolutely. He's clearly one of the fastest, if not the fastest driver here. But as you said, consistency seems to be a bit of a problem for him.
And briefly, we haven't got time to speak to him, the man himself, but Bjorn joins you this evening as a guest driver just for the evening. How is he finding the Movie Go Racing team?
I think he's having a good time. He seems to be. So he bought the car, I think, 2 hours before the race. So not a lot of practice, so really pleased with how he's doing.
Well, great job to turn out so many drivers on such a regular basis, and you never know, Movie Go Racing might well be top of the league by the end of the evening. One more race to go, and you're starting quite low down on the grid because it's a reverse top 20. What's a realistic finishing position in this last race?
Well, realistically, it would be nice to get over the line, but I'm gonna aim for a top 10.
Brilliant. We wish you the best, and we'll let you go prepare. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
And that's Jamie Rushworth there for Movie Go Racing. And very quick word, if possible, with Svidovic, the current championship leader. Let's see if we can possibly speak to Wojtek. Are you there?
I'm here. How are you doing, guys?
We are great, and we're looking forward to one final amazing race. But you ended up winning the second race fairly comfortably. You must have wondered where all the other cars had gone.
Yeah, it all kind of came together for me. I was very lucky. I was worrying if I could overtake Kevin, but yeah, he made a mistake and pretty much just gave away the lead. And then David was doing very good job in holding off the other fast guys, so I was quite comfortable at the lead.
Well, it wasn't the same case in the first race. And how much in the first race was you just holding back and wanting to get a reasonable finish? And how much of it was you thinking, I just can't go any faster than this?
I really don't have that much pace. The guys, like whoever finished in front of me in the previous race, they were faster than me. And the only overtake was by Ashley. Yeah, I said, well, he can have it because I know he will eventually overtake me anyway, so I was taking it easy, just making sure I'll finish on my position there.
Brilliant. Well, 20th place you will be starting in the final race. What's a realistic finishing position for you? Do you know? Or are you just going to go for it?
I'll hope I finish at least 20th. And whatever's better than 20th will be kind of a success. Hopefully I pick up some position by the attrition. So I'm looking forward to the next race. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, as are we, looking forward to it very much. We'll let you go prepare, and thanks very much for talking to us.
My pleasure.
That's Wojtek Svidovic there, and he is the current championship leader in the SGP Bianco team, and he is doing fantastic. I mean, he says he doesn't have the pace. Beg to differ, based on his results out on the track.
Yeah, what a fantastic opening season by him. I don't know whether that's a bit of mind games or not. We'll see as the season progresses. Just looking at the results, Alexander Smolensky ended up getting 13 incident points, which is a disqualification, and in 20th place and on pole position for race 3 is Peter Van Gool. Maybe a bit of redemption for what happened at Spa last week.
Well, disqualification will rule him out of any kind of points from that race after the evening's over, but it won't rule him out, I don't believe, of being on the reverse grid in 5th place. So a lot of drivers got to get past Smolensky, including Katz once again. Things are going to get interesting in round 9 here from Suzuka, live in about 5 or 10 minutes time here on BSR TV. Just jump over to the next video for the finale of another week of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Thanks very much for watching this one, and we'll see you in just a moment.